I'm starting to think it might not have been a dream. I've never been much of a good sleeper. I'm 35 now, and for as long as I can remember, decent sleep has eluded me. I don't suffer from night terrors or the like. Most nights are just tossing and turning, filled with short spans of fitful rest, enough to keep me sane and a functioning adult, with a constant infusion of caffeine. I've run the gamut of remedies over the years, from doctors and meds to more casual means of relaxation. As a child, I was able to hide it from my parents, and as an adult, it's easier to hide it from friends, loved ones, and coworkers. Meds would work for about a week, then I would be back to my old routine. Lather, rinse, repeat, a pharmacy of a multitude of other and prescription meds in varying doses. When I moved out and started living on my own, the doctors became less and less frequent until I eventually gave them up altogether. I gravitated to more natural means, with similar results. A couple years ago, I tried relaxing media, lo-fi music, movies, and audiobooks. I could set my tablet on my nightstand and try to get lost in the sounds. I came across ASMR and found that some of the visuals also helped. And the tablet's position on the nightstand allowed me to lay and watch without too much trouble. Like all things in the past, these ways never worked longer than a few days. It was reaching a point where I was starting to not bother. The sound was now primarily there to keep me company through the night. Then a new video came across my feed. I'm a huge fan of internet mysteries, the weird, the paranormal. When the backrooms phenomenon took over the internet, I was all on board, so it was strange I'd never come across this video. It was a several-hour-long video of looping liminal space pictures partnered with music. I decided to try it one night, sliding into bed and hitting play. A picture of a dim, seemingly endless halfway came on screen, accompanied by a soft, almost eerie beat. My body started to relax. I don't know how long I was watching before the image changed to one of an empty grocery store. I felt my eyes growing heavy. I barely noticed the music change, and then sleep took me. I never dream. I've never really reached a level of sleep restful enough to, but I opened my eyes to a blinding yellow light. I blinked a few times and sat up. I expected to be in my bedroom, but instead I found myself on the cold tile floor of some big box store I didn't recognize. Aisles stretched all around me, fully and perfectly stocked. A soft, cheerful music was coming from some sort of speaker system, yet somehow his foreign place still felt silent. I uncertainly stood up. Was this a dream? In all my years, I had never fallen into a deep enough sleep to ever dream, besides the occasional daydream. The store was far bigger than I initially thought. Rows upon rows of aisles ran off in every direction. Now on my feet, though I could just make out the top of what appeared to be windows in the distance, so I decided to move that way. Was this a dream? I asked myself again. The music, while unfamiliar, sounded so clear, the air felt so cold. It all felt so real. I thought maybe the front door would wake me up, so I kept walking. Each aisle I passed was deceptively long and every shelf full and neatly stocked. The labels I could see were blurry, even ones within arm's reach, so I eventually stopped trying to read them. I don't know how long I was walking, but the front windows did not appear to be getting any closer. I stopped, feeling a pit of dread clenching my stomach, begging myself to wake up. I even cupped my hands over my mouth and shouted, "Wake up." There was no echo, but dreams aren't supposed to make sense, right? But that was when the music stopped and a friendly male voice came across the loudspeakers. "The store is now closed. Thanks for shopping with us." It repeated a few times, and I was attempting to yell again in the now eerie silence to let someone know I was still here when the lights began turning off, aisle by aisle being taken over by shadows, until the once bright store had fallen into a scant yellow glow coming from somewhere. I started pinching myself. It took a lot to scare me, but there was something unnerving about this place. I had no idea what to do, just waited out till my alarm. I turned, and if this had been real, I probably would have shit myself. Standing at the other end of the aisle was another human being. Who would it be? I wondered. The cute girl at work, maybe my third-grade teacher who I had a crush on. I stared, expecting a scantily clad female to saunter forward, but then I noticed the dark form was strangely taller and much too slender to be human. My stomach dropped. It just stood there, a humanoid form darker than the shadows beyond. I couldn't make out any facial features, not even a glint of light hinting at some sort of eye. Just pure, utter dark. Jesus Christ, wake the fuck up, man. I had wanted to sleep, but this was not what I had signed up for. I started to slowly back into the aisle behind me, keeping the thing in my sights. Walls of bagged chips eventually enclosed me and I just kept slowly backing up. The form took one loud step forward, a flat, solid thud that even in the silence of the store made no echo. The store is now closed. The store is now closed. I audibly gasped when the recorded voice broke the stillness. It faded into an ear-piercing siren that caused me to wince in pain. That's when the form surged forward, its feet slapping against the tiled floor as it raced towards me. I spun and took off down the aisle, which now seemed to be endless. Walls of bagged snacks surrounded me. I could hear footsteps moving ever closer behind me. It made no other noise. No grunts or growls, no breathing. I had one thought, dream or not, and that was to run, praying that I would wake up before that thing got me. In an attempt to slow it down, I reached out and started shoving bagged snacks to the floor behind me. I doubt it slowed it down, I was too terrified to look. All it really got me was mini explosions as the thing stomped on my salty landmines. I am by no means an athlete in any world. The aisle had no visible break, that thing was slowly but surely gaining on me. The running mixed with pure terror was taking its toll. Sweat was forming on my forehead, my legs were burning. I knew it was only a matter of time. My mind was throbbing, a foggy swirl of thoughts. Just keep running, praying that this dream would end before whatever this thing was, caught me. Then my feet failed me. My shoes squeaked against the tiles and I felt myself going down. I reached out, pulling down a shelf of bagged snacks, unsure of what I was trying to accomplish, just waiting to hit the cold tiles or, even worse, for whatever was chasing me to grab me before I fell. My breath was forced from my lungs as I fell into my bed. It wasn't like I had jolted myself awake, but it was as if I had jumped from a ledge to land on the mattress. I unsteady sat up, my heart racing, wiping a hand across my clammy face. I was in my apartment. I wasn't wearing the clothes I had laid down in, but the jeans and t-shirt I had been wearing in the store, the thin fabric of the shirt clinging to my sweat-drenched back. Maybe I had been more tired than I thought and had just fallen into bed fully clothed. The tablet propped open on my nightstand was black. Maybe it had all been a dream, one hell of a real one. I sighed heavily and fell back into bed, jumping when I heard a couple bags of chips crunch and pop open beneath me. I bolted to my feet and saw the bright green bags flattened on my bed. The labels were still blurry and pixelated like something out of an old video game. Needless to say, my sleep has not improved.